Okay, Arian, this is the bike. The key locks the handlebars in there, and you just turn it. You take the key out, and for starting it, etc., you can see accessory off and ignition. Now, when I leave the bike, I turn it so that it's locked, because that way no one can stir your bike. When you get to your bike, you just simply undo that again, put the key into your pocket, and you then just turn that to ignition, and it'll give a beep, and you start the bike. When you turn it off, the alarm will reset. You'll hear 2 beeps, and the alarm will reset, and then you just lock it. All your normal stuff, mate. When you start it, you switch the switch to run, and then you start it. And to switch it off, you just switch it off, mate. You've got your throttle, as you know. Everything's on there. The horn, the lights, etc. It runs lights all the time automatically. There is the seat, and you gently just lift it from the rider's side, and there is the fuel tank there. You can see that this little thing here simply goes into that little rubber hole there. So once you lock it on, once you lock that on, mate, you just put it down, give it a little push, and she's down. There's that. I've got this on the back. It just sits there. You can take it off if you don't want it, or if you want to use the rack. One thing I will show you is that there's where the original plate. I'm leaving those screws on there so that you can use those screws. But basically, those screws are up, sort of like that. Obviously, it sits up under there like that. You know, it sits nice and high. But those 2 screw holes basically sit either side of the P, as you can see, which if you look at where that plate is running, you'll see that the this line here is pretty well in line with the that gold line. So you can see it sort of it'll sit like that when you put it on, but the screws are about there and there on there, mate. So be very aware of a wide tyre, mate, on roundabouts, especially in wet. This thing's got a heap of grunt. You're used to it, I know that. That's not a problem. Mate, just enjoy it. And yeah, I'll turn it around now, mate, but she's ready to go. So the key fob is in this little box here, Angus and Coot. The number plate is also in the box, and the box will be sitting on the bike like so, and I will leave it unlocked so that you can simply put the number plate and the key or something in your backpack, and you can then you can then turn this on and start it up, mate. So you just switch it on so that it beeps. You then simply stand the bike up. As you can see, it's in neutral. It has to start with the clutch in, mate. It has to start with the clutch in and the stand up. So that's basically where we are. There you go, she started. She's got 3/4 of a tank, etc. on there, mate. So just turn her off, mate, and then if all you do then is you turn it to off here, and that'll switch the lights off. What I was saying is your feet on this peg, you can see you've got to be very careful with your pants or your boots. these pipes will melt them. So when I'm riding this bike, you will actually see that my foot sort of sits out so that I'm not up against so my foot's not up against the pipes. I have my foot out. It's a very comfortable position. You're riding a bit like you got your legs spread out, and it's really, really easy. So mate, that's her there, sitting there, and there's the other side. And mate, you enjoy it. You ride with your feet tucked out. It's not like a sports bike, but mate, you'll have a lot of fun on it. And Steve Schilling is the manager of Harley Davidson there on the Gold Coast. Anything you need to do, mate, just go straight to him and he'll do it. He'll probably ring me. If you can have a look there, under the seat, you've got 42 PSI in the back and 36 PSI in the front. And I've also written it on there for you where you can see rear 42 and front 36. So if you want to check the tyres, I would probably do that before I did anything. And just to let you know, mate, that the tyre valve, there's a little hook one that you screw on to pump the tyres up, but then you've got to take it off and put it back into this bag. It's shaped like a little L. It just makes it easier when you take this cap off and you screw it in. It sticks out the side here so that you can check it, and then you just put it back up and you put it back in that little bag there, mate. So that's her, and you enjoy it. Thanks.